What is up, guys? Welcome back to Esk8, the podcast where we talk about electric skateboards, MBoards, board bumpers, anything electric skateboard related.
And occasionally some nonsense. Like, for instance, just before we got, we started, Mark and I were talking about how bad our stock portfolios are looking right now. Oh my God, it's so bad. But, it is what it is. You just got to hold. Don't sell.
Hey, you only lose money when you sell. It's fine. You just got to hold it. I got some long-term holds, so it's okay.
Diamond hands.
We're all good. We're all good.
I'm going to hold on to them until I die. Keep them forever.
So today we have Jacob with us and Mark, the main three, the usual suspects here. How have you guys been? How's your weekend?
It was good. It's my last weekend until I'm out of town every single weekend till June.
Oh,
so
wow.
I did absolutely nothing.
Nice.
I went to the gym a few times. And I laid in bed and watched movies.
Good.
All weekend.
That's great.
Yeah.
That's good. I pretty much did the same thing.
Nice.
I should have skated this week, but I didn't do it.
Mike,
I know. I had the time, too.
I'm going to put it on your calendar.
It has to, if it's not on the list, it doesn't get done.
You're in timeout now.
Yeah. I'm getting shunned by the group because I didn't go out and skate.
I went to Tahoe for the weekend. It was cool. But
you didn't skate, but you snowboarded.
Man, I am beat up. I wrecked so hard.
Dang.
Yeah, shoulder popped out.
Oh, my God.
Probably cracked a rib.
Wow.
Did the same thing at that same place 2 years ago.
Jeez.
Yeah, so.
Skiing in Tahoe is fun, though.
I'm in a lot of pain right now, but
I like Heavenly.
Life goes on.
Heavenly? Bougie.
Haven't been there, yeah.
Isn't that in Tahoe, though?
Yeah, no,
it's
good.
on the other, it's on the
nice.
South Lake.
Oh.
Yeah.
I didn't realize there was more than one ski resort.
California side, bro. I guess they're all really California side.
Yeah, pretty much.
There's only a few in Nevada.
Anyways, okay, so we have quite a show for you guys today. Jacob, we are sponsoring a group ride pretty soon.
Yeah,
right?
another one.
Yeah, so tell us about that.
So next weekend down in San Diego, we're going to head down for a Super Beast Shred Lights / Beyond Armors, and as well as Board Bumpers now sponsored ride. So meeting up at 11 o'clock. I'm going to have to look again exactly where, but I think it was like a pier.
This is San Diego, right?
Yeah, in San Diego.
Cool. That's awesome.
Yeah, so slowly, kind of reaching out, spreading our wings a little bit. I think it's the best way, so far. It's not the best way, but it's another way for us to actually, get out, show people not only board bumpers, but we'll be bringing Geckoderm with us. We may as well let everybody check those out. We're crazy prototyping those. We did 2. Well, we'll do 2 today.
So we
probably
did
another one tomorrow.
We already the wrap for the Miles Phantom's done.
Yep.
And we're doing the Miles Sex Panther next.
Right.
And those should be ready to hit.
That's actually a name of the board?
Yes.
It's the actual name.
Which I don't understand.
That's
because
so
in the movie The Anchorman, the Sex Panther is the cologne that they're talking about. And the tagline is 50% of the time it works every time. But do you want that to be do you want that to be the slogan associated with your boards?
When you showed me that board, I thought someone just made a custom heat sink because they just named their board that.
No,
I didn't know.
That's literally the name. That. So I will say this: they did a good job because marketability, it's eye catching.
Yeah,
and they sold a ton of them.
Yeah,
so it's obviously the name works because
and they did it on purpose.
Oh, definitely.
They were pretty clear
big
that
brain
they were
move
doing
for
it
sure.
on purpose,
They knew what they were doing. Like memes sell, and that's exactly what they did. So good for them. But it's just interesting that the tagline is 50% of the time it works every time. It's well, okay.
How many people do you have going to the group ride?
I'm not sure. I mean, for us, it'll probably just be James and I leaving from here. I think we'll just do a day trip.
I would go, but
I don't know.
It's Maddie's birthday. It's the wife's birthday, so I can't leave.
I'm not doing that. So that kind of group, the San Diego group, did a ride last weekend also, and it looked like they had 40, 50 people. So,
oh wow!
Yeah, it should be pretty cool.
Yeah,
nice.
No, the group rides get pretty big. They get kind of out of hand, to be honest.
Then we'll probably take a break from the traveling group rides.
Yeah,
focus on our own because we'll trying to stay on the monthly group ride of our own. So it gets to be otherwise a bit much.
Are you riding in city center of San Diego?
I'm not sure. I want to say yes, but
there's a very large homeless
otherwise
population there.
Oh,
I went running there on Mother's Day weekend because Mom and I went down to San Diego because Todd was there for a show.
Okay,
and we went down there, and there was just
I've never seen so
It's
many
just bad
homeless
down there?
people. Yeah,
Wow.
That's a
it's
shame.
so expensive to live down there. So a lot of people end up homeless.
Wow.
There was like, I went running at like 8 a.m. and there was like people sleeping in the middle of intersections.
Wow.
Not just
What?
on the side of the street, like in the middle of the intersections.
Wow, that's
It's
rough.
crazy.
Yikes.
I don't know if it's
Not
always
sure if
like
that's
that.
where we're going.
Yeah,
but
I don't know if it's always
I'll
like
let
that,
you
but
know.
I know the last time I went there, it was pretty
Jeez.
bad.
Yeah.
That's a shame.
Yeah,
California's kind of a mess.
yeah.
Well,
It's a good
anyways.
group though, so
Good gr-
we're
yeah,
gonna,
anyways.
we're gonna go hang out for the day. Unfortunately, probably turn around and come right back that night.
Yeah. A quick
Maybe swing through Oceanside and stay for Sunday, but we'll see. We'll see.
You have
That's cool.
family there, right?
No,
In
just
Oceanside?
friends.
Oh.
Just friends. Yeah.
Oh.
Just friends.
Yeah, lots of friends for sure.
Mm.
I don't have any friends out there. It's like mutual friends for me.
Yeah, I don't.
Jacob knows everybody. That's one thing I've learned being friends with Jacob. He knows somebody and everywhere.
Yeah.
So it's kind of interesting.
Yeah.
The only friends I have in California are at USC. I don't know anybody anywhere else.
Yep. That's interesting. Yeah. So back to Geckoderm. We were talking about that. We got a couple more boards done today, and we're continuing to try to expand what boards we can do and what boards we can protect. So if you have a board, so what boards are we looking for, Jacob? Are there anything specific we're looking for?
So both of the new Hadians would be cool.
Yep.
We definitely would like to get those done. The Meepo Hurricane, I think there's probably 3 or 4 out of the Meepo range that are pretty popular that we could work on. All of the X-Ways. I'll say this, if you could like group it into one like common. If your board is made of carbon fiber, you don't have Geckoderm on, like you're going to destroy that carbon fiber. Sorry.
Yep.
It's going to chunk, it's going to scratch, and you can't ever fix that. You
Right.
can't just paint over it. It's totally different than having like an ABS enclosure. So we did them for like the Bamboo and GTR, GTX, as well as the Stoke. It's not bad, but it just looks different because the plastic is sort of textured, right? So I think really we talked about we're going to go to probably more of a matte finish on those.
Yeah.
That'll look
But
cool.
again, like, so you trade off, again, it's hard to even explain. It looks just sort of textured under the film, right? But you're protecting it. So you kind of trade off like, oh, okay, well, it looks like it's maybe a little textured, but like my board is actually protected.
Right.
Do you have any issues with like air bubbles or anything?
So the way that Geckoderm is applied is we use like a wet application technique. So you take we give you bottles of this like soapy water and you spray the sticky side of the wrap, and then you spray your board, and then when you place it on, you can slide it around and position it just right, and then when you take the squeegee, all the air bubbles comes out real easy because there's water
And
with
they
it.
never come back.
No. That's
good.
When it applies, it's really nice. Like,
Does it cling to the board more than stick?
no, it's adhesive.
Oh,
it
it
is
is
technically adhesive. It's a really nice adhesive though.
It leaves no residue.
No residue.
Like,
So
when
if you want to
peel
peel it off, it's fine.
there's nothing there.
Yeah,
There's
it's
nothing
really
there.
nice.
And through like the application process, it doesn't stretch. It stretches, but it comes right back into form. So, some plastic, if you kind of pull on a corner, it deforms it and it never comes back.
Yeah.
This stuff just goes right back to the original. So even if you have to pull the piece off because you didn't quite like how it fit, which the install part is so easy as far as being able to move it around.
Yeah.
You can just peel it off, replace it, peel it off, replace it until you get it exactly how you want it.
So if you had it on an old board and you wanted to transfer it to a new board, could
so
you?
once you squeegee all the liquid out, that activates the adhesive.
Yeah.
Now once you pull it off from there, that's when the adhesive starts to get not as effective. But when it's wet, you can keep peeling it on and off as many times as you want until it's perfect, and then you can squeegee it out. But anyway, bottom line is if you have a carbon fiber board and your board is not currently listed on our website, is a wrap available. We're looking for your board, even outside of carbon fiber.
Yeah, I mean, that was just
That was an
really
example.
an easy one to say, but any, a bamboo, bottom deck, long boards, it doesn't have to be electric. That was just kind of, really where it stood out. But
Speaking of X-Way too, have you ever reached out to Andy to try to get him?
He has, what does he have? He has a
Onboard Zeus, I think.
Okay.
I want to say.
That's another one.
So we do need his. So I'll reach out to
And for
Andy.
anyone who doesn't know, Andy is one of Mike's friends. They both went to UNLV, and he is an ambassador for Esk8.
He was.
Oh,
I don't think anymore. Oh. No. Anyway, so yeah, I'll reach out to him. So anyway, if you have a board, hit us up. We will. If you ship us your board, we'll give you a wrap.
Yeah.
We'll use your board to prototype. We'll get the wrap done. We'll send your board back wrapped and protected.
Yeah, you get a protected board, and you get to help out, the next guy.
Yep, exactly.
So,
what I forget, it was either last episode or the episode before, we were talking about like active safety features on boards and how, like,
it was 2 episodes ago.
I think it was 2 episodes ago. Yeah, so
I
like,
touched on it last week.
So Jacob sent me a very interesting. You sent me a very interesting DM on Instagram. I'm going to pull it up right now, really quick. It was this link. It's called streetlogic.ai. And what it is a device that I think it clips onto your helmet, if I'm not mistaken, or it clips onto your bike. Either way, it's got 2 fisheye lenses in it, and it looks forward and backwards, and it scans the road and uses like artificial intelligence to pick up on approaching vehicles. And I guess it links with your phone.
I think it's like an eyepiece, like
it might
like
be
the Google Glass thing where it's like it's right, like RoboCop style.
Is it like cloud-based?
I feel like I saw it and it was.
Yes, it is. Oh, so it's not even available yet. I'm pulling up on their website.
Is it cloud-based or is it like an SD card that you have to like?
So no,
off?
it's
or does it not even record?
It doesn't.
Like
it may record, but the whole point of it though is you mount your phone to like your handlebars.
Mm-hmm.
And as a car's approaching you from behind, because if you're riding on the right side of the road, cars approach you on your left, and you can't really see them.
Mm-hmm.
So your phone is mounted on your handlebars, and there's a big arrow that says approaching on your left, and it follows the car.
Wow.
So you can actually see them coming without actually looking back there. So my point was, I think this could definitely apply to electric skateboards as well.
One of y'all had kind of mentioned that. Was it?
It was that the group of college students that are coming out with that piece for your helmet.
Yeah. So anyways, I think it's an interesting topic. So it's called streetlogic.ai. You guys can look into it. I mean, it looks like it's meant for cyclists, but there's no reason why it couldn't work for our purposes too.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, it's pretty much the same thing. I mean, as far as what this device is concerned with. So anyway, it's kind of cool. I think that would be one of the better ways, like one of the only ways I think this would work really is if it was using more visual-based AI.
Is it just a concept, or are they actually coming?
So you can reserve it for $30, and it's going to be a $300 product.
So they are coming to market.
Coming to market with it. It says
they market towards e-bikes, like specific, not just bikes.
Yeah,
I found that kind of.
Do they have a release date?
I thought that was kind of cool.
On their website, I'm looking right now. Just to keep the show moving, I don't have one off the top of my head, but I don't think so. I don't see one right off the bat. But anyways, it's an interesting topic because, I think that could definitely help us or help riders in general.
Yeah.
With not getting hit by cars, because that's one of the main things that we have to deal with.
Yeah, for sure.
Crazy to think we might have that in a helmet before you actually have that in your own car.
Yeah,
like,
for sure.
I mean, you get the little like signal in your mirror, but like it doesn't really help you a whole lot. Why isn't our whole? I don't know. We're getting off topic.
Yeah, definitely getting off topic. But anyways, I thought that was a very interesting idea and premise for sure.
Yeah.
Okay, so we have a badass build of the week. I'm not doing 2 this week, guys. Sorry. I think I guess 1 week we promised 2, but we're gonna do 1 at a time. I think that's the best way to do it. Here we go. So I have our email. Here's our email. It says, "Hello. Hopefully you guys are still doing this. Yes, we are definitely doing it. Submitting this as the badass build of the week. My inspiration for building the board was that I moved from New Jersey to California recently, and the old board that I built in New Jersey just wasn't able to handle the massive hills in my area." Yeah, definitely, for sure. It was my mission to build a board that could handle the steepest of hills so that I could explore the beautiful scenery of California. I achieved just that, and I'm extremely proud of the board I built. The hardest thing for me to build was definitely the battery pack. It was a very long and tedious process, but ultimately paid off in the end. Oh, so he actually built his own battery pack. Good for you, dude. That's awesome. Okay, so
His parts list includes a 12S 8P P42A monocell pack, the Smart BMS custom built, that's a big ass battery, and you spend a lot of money on that thing.
80, 90 miles.
Yeah, that's a lot. That's a lot. He's got two 63-100 170 kV motors, which is those are some big ass motors right there. 8-inch pneumatic tires.
Again, so he's probably only getting like 60 miles then.
Yeah, those are some big tires.
Only.
Only 60 miles.
Still a lot of miles.
Double
Mark's
kingpin.
Trying to throw 97s on there and do like 130 miles.
Double kingpin trucks with Riptide bushings, a Stormcore 60D Plus, a Maytech V2 remote, Atom downhill longboard deck, custom 3D printed and side enclosure with carbon fiber vinyl. Top speed is 43 miles an hour, and range is 40 to 60 miles, depending on watt-hour miles.
Wow.
Which, 40 to 60 miles on 8 inches, dude.
That's ridiculous.
That's crazy.
Are any of them your parts or no?
Who knows? I don't know. Because it could be that Stormcore could come from us.
Yeah.
The double kingpin trucks, no, we don't sell those yet.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding. So
It's pretty much just the ESC and remote. That would
possibly
be yours.
Well, the Maytech, and that's not even ours either. We don't have Maytechs right now.
Okay, so yeah, maybe just the Stormcore.
Hey, it's okay. It's. I'm not only gonna pick.
Well, no,
boards.
yeah. If it's a good build, it's a good build.
But I didn't realize it though, as I thought his enclosure was full carbon fiber because his wrap looks so good. Like I couldn't even tell.
Trying to trick us.
Yeah. So here, you guys can scroll through the pictures.
Hogging it, bro. Come on.
So that's the email, and you can scroll to the right. And no, it looks really good. And honestly, 60 miles on 8-inch tires. That is.
It kind of has the shape of like your Tupperware enclosure.
Kind of, yeah. It's got some harsher edges, but
that's the strongest enclosure you've ever had.
Yeah.
I think this is, obviously this board looks really nice.
It does, yeah.
But usually the difference between DIY and non is like, yeah, it's just a Tupperware on the bottom. But this thing's a beast.
No, that's good. It's a big enclosure, but he's got a big battery in there, so it kind of has to be. But yeah, he picked good parts too. That's like he picked some nice parts. Like I'm pretty.
What do we know what he was coming from?
I don't know. He didn't say. He didn't say what his original board was. So he had a lesser board of some kind in New Jersey.
Yeah.
And when he moved to California, he needed something bigger, and that's the one. That's the bigger one. But I don't know what he had before.
Probably.
I wish he had mentioned
torque board or something.
Probably.
Jeez, those motors are just huge.
6100s are massive, dude.
That's what I want to put on the jaws.
Oh yeah,
there's so much space.
There is a lot of space.
I just need to fill it. Even if we did like a 6374, I'm just gonna make like a
ginormous
thing on the end, right?
Yeah. Insane.
And so these aren't on like this isn't any wider like of trucks. So if you think about like the double kingpins out there, and with your motors, like this thing they almost touch. It's huge.
Yeah,
yeah, it's insane. But hey, it's like an awesome build though. Yeah. It really is. So good job.
That thing can climb Mount Everest.
He needs to go to San Diego.
Yeah.
Go to San Diego. If he shows up at the San Diego, okay, here we go.
Gonna wrap his board for him?
I don't know. That custom enclosure, that would be, we can do it obviously, but not like on the spot.
Yeah.
What about his deck? Can he fit some bumpers on there or something? Or
I don't know. I think
where does he live? Somewhere in California?
He lives he just in California.
Oh.
So I don't know. He said steep hills, maybe San Francisco. I don't know. I don't know. A lot of California is hilly, so I'm not sure exactly where he is.
Tell him to show up to the group ride in San Diego, and we'll give him some free shit.
So, anyways, best regards, Nico. So, Nico,
what is
did a good job.
Last name?
Nico Celia. CELA.
We're gonna do some creeping real quick.
Well, I just want.
This is called professional.
If he's ordered creeping from us,
you'll know where he is. You'll know what city he lives in.
I won't say it on air.
Yeah. All right. Well, anyways, and if you send us an email with your name in it, we're gonna read your name. So don't be too offended. But anyway,
you're not a weirdo.
Nico, great job on your build.
I see the name.
Yeah, here you go. Great job on your build. I'm very impressed with the range you're getting out of that thing. That is incredible.
Super cool.
And I'm sure your torque is wild with a 12S AP and a Stormcore and those motors.
Didn't say the KP on those motors, but I don't know.
170.
Oh, okay.
And I don't know what the gearing is though. So
I think that's what I would do. It's like right in the middle.
Yeah. Maddie, what's the next topic here? Mark's got my phone.
We've got some viewer submitted questions.
Okay, let's do it.
All right.
Ready.
Is there a device that can be connected to the charger to protect the battery to make sure the voltage does not go too high or too low?
What?
BMS?
Yeah, that just sounds like a BMS.
So it's possible I misunderstood the question. It was much longer than this, and there were some typos. So I just tried to decipher the best, but basically it was that it would connect to it would be on the charger, and if it was overcharging, it would stop, like cut off power, or if it gets too low, it would kick on.
So chargers naturally do this, anyways, with or without a BMS.
Yeah,
they stop energy naturally. Like if you have a 42 volt charger and you plug it into your battery, as your battery hits 42 volts, like power wants to go from like the greater voltage to the lesser voltage. So when those even out, the charger just naturally stops.
I wonder if they're talking about like maybe being like a 4 amp charger when it's like very low in voltage, but as it goes higher in voltage, it changes to like 2 amps.
No, yeah, like a smart charger does that. Like my car does that.
Yeah,
when it's lower,
but not the chargers we have.
No.
Like they specifically said when it goes too low when you're not riding it in the winter.
Oh, so it's just monitoring your voltage.
It's probably my fault.
Okay, so this is what I'm getting.
Continue to keep it on the charger.
It's like a trickle charger kind of thing.
Yeah,
right?
that's what I'm guessing. Is that that they want a charger that will just turn on and off over the course of many months to make sure that battery stays at the same voltage the whole time. Okay, I can see that. That's possible. I mean, I don't know if it's really necessary. I don't know if it's worth the R&D to get it done when most people can just unplug and plug their board in a couple times throughout the winter. It's not that much.
Like for when I had my Corvette, they had an actual trickle charger so that people that didn't drive their cars in the winter, they plug this thing into the wall and it hooks into the battery, and it just kept a minimal charge so the battery wouldn't die.
Okay, yeah.
Otherwise,
I mean, I feel like
so I think you could maybe you could obviously rig something up like that, but
yeah.
For like East Coast people, I feel like there would be a demand for it.
Yeah, it's definitely
They have
possible.
those for motorcycles too.
Yeah.
Should probably store your board inside though if it's
well,
really that cold.
I mean, definitely Vegas, definitely not.
We ride it.
Mine stays in the garage. Yeah, I leave everything.
Yeah, I don't even care.
I leave it all in the garage.
All right, what's next?
Will the new board have a programmable ESC?
Yes. Yeah, we're putting Stormcore 60D pluses in there. So very programmable, hopefully. So apparently, I've been talking to Alex, and I guess they're improving their app so you can actually configure a few things within the Stormcore app, which would be really fun. And then eventually, hopefully this year, they're saying that an Android app's coming. So that will be really nice. That way people can actually adjust their braking power, torque, and all that.
Is it fully programmable by phone?
So not really.
Or do you still have to plug it into
I still think it needs to go to Vestool first. And then once you do that, then you can kind of adjust your torque and your braking power and stuff like that on the app eventually. Right now, it's not programmable at all.
The problem is all these apps, they make people think that you can fully program it on their phone. And then they run into issues, and then
So far, the Stormcore firmware has been very nice to work with. It just seems to just work. I don't know, there's all these different Vesks out there now, but so far the Stormcore firmware has been just simple. I don't know. There's just hasn't been these weird hangups like I've had in the past. So far I'm really happy with it.
That's good.
I don't have that many miles on my Stormcores now, but I'm liking it.
Yeah.
You've got quite a few miles on your Stormcore because you got one on your board.
And I've never, I haven't connected it. I wouldn't know the first thing to do. That was actually going to be my question. I feel like people get really concerned about being able to adjust, their VESC and things like that. But once you set it once, why?
Yeah.
It's a big deal. I feel like coming from the factory,
from different applications though.
Yeah.
I get that, but they're not changing it on a daily basis.
No, not daily. No.
Does the initial setup of it, do you really need to ever change it?
Maybe you have a speed mode, and maybe you have a climbing hills mode.
Yeah. You do that on your remote. You can preset that because most remotes have multiple settings within them. So my guess is you can set each parameter to the various remotes, remote clicks. I don't know.
Yeah. So one of the big things that a use case as far as adjusting speed, torque, stuff like that, braking power is just if you got a buddy riding your board for the first time, you want to turn all your settings down. Because even right now, I have the VX2 Pro on our prototype board right now,
And there's 3 different speed modes, but they're not really speed modes. They're like 3 different acceleration modes because all 3 of them will all reach the same top speed.
Yeah.
It's just one
takes a lot
longer to get there. But at the end of the day, if their top speed is 35 miles an hour, it's getting to 35 in low, medium, and high, which is kind of annoying. I wish we could kind of try to figure that out so we can actually have like an actual speed mode that were 3 different modes. But
so when you were using, like in the Interstellar, you use the fuck box, do you still have to program that thing necessarily each time you assemble a board?
Yeah, so like every time we assemble a board, every single one of them gets plugged into a computer. We put all the settings that we feel matches our setup the best. And then from there, the customer should never have to mess with anything.
Yeah.
Now, if they want to, that's a different story. And I think that's where the question is getting at is our new boards going to have a programmable ESC? So if they want to change something, or if they get their board and they go, you know what, these brakes are just too strong or they're not strong enough, whatever the case may be, you'll never please everybody. I've already can guarantee that when we program and fine tune this, the storm cores to our liking for our new boards, someone's going to have a problem with it.
Yeah.
Like what's so funny is when we first launched the Interstellar, I had 2 customers in like the same day. One loved the way that our braking and acceleration was, and one of them said, this is the worst board I've ever ridden because the brakes are too, whatever it was, strong or not strong enough. And I'm like, okay, but it's the same board and they're the same settings, and we have 2 wildly different opinions.
Well, I mean, it probably depends on rider weight and terrain too.
Of course, and which is exactly why it's important to have a programmable ESC, so that way you can really fine tune that stuff. But once you set it, though, really changing it once it's set, it's not really necessary. But
I would think any of like the app settings would kind of be like quick fixes.
Yeah,
like,
for sure.
Like that speed mode like you would pre-program it so that way.
We'll see. Absolutely. So we'll see. I mean, so far, one thing I really love about the Storm Core is the freaking RGB button, the power button. It's really cool. So once you program the Storm Core, if your battery is fully charged, your power button lights up green. And then as you get closer to the 50% mark, it transfers slowly from green to blue. So if you're like at 75%, it's like this cool turquoise color. And then as you get from once you hit 50%, it's blue. And once you get to 0%, it's red. Then as you get between 50% and 0, it's turning like this purple color. So it goes from like green to blue to purple to like this red color and pink and stuff. So it's really cool. So at a first glance, you can kind of see about what your battery level is just based on what color it is, which is kind of an interesting concept. It
sucks for
very
people
cool.
that are colorblind, though.
Well, yeah. I mean, that's not the only way you'd be able to tell your board's percentage, but it's just kind of a fun, every time I look at my color, it's a different color. I don't know. It's kind of fun.
I didn't even know that about it.
So really?
Thanks for that info.
Yeah,
check that out next time.
So as you ride it, your power button changes colors.
Yeah.
Do they have different power buttons?
So they only ship one, but it'll work. I mean, it'll work with any.
Well, I didn't. Well, because he said he never noticed it. I didn't know. If,
his
he
does
got
it.
a different power button or something.
Mine's definitely
his
colorful.
Does it.
Yeah,
his does it for sure. But honestly, it was, I don't know who in the process of the Stormcore design came up with the RGB thing, but that's a cool idea. I mean, it's totally it's not useless, and it has a use for it, not necessary, right? It doesn't actually but it's cool. I don't know what it is. It's just a cool feature, and I'm like, oh, that's just a nice touch.
Cool features sell.
What?
You wouldn't be able to look down and be like, oh, I have
I'm at 67%. Yeah.
No, you'd probably be like, it's purple. So I got to turn around now.
Yeah.
That's about all you could do, you know?
Yeah. No, it's just kind of a fun, that's a kind of, I don't know. It's just kind of fun. I just think it's a cool, it's a
hidden
cool
Easter egg.
Yeah. Now, I don't know. I have to check. I don't know if you could just set it to a certain color and leave it. I don't know.
Not in the app, you can.
Not in the app.
I use it, and so
that's got to be programmable in the app.
It does well. It tracks your rides, your temperatures, things like that. I've had a few. I don't know if it's the app or what, but any rides over 15 miles, I can't ever get back into it. It disappears. It makes the app crash.
Oh, really?
I can do 12 miles, no problem. I can pull everything up, all the old telemetry. But as soon as I seem to get over 15 miles, the app will crash every time.
A problem with the code.
I don't know. It just doesn't like it. So I've redone it a few times.
Their app is definitely is a work in progress.
Yeah.
So the Quad's a great company, but they definitely, their app is, first of all, clean looking app. It's a very nice looking app, but there's definitely work to be done, and they know that, and they've been pretty open about it. So I'm excited to see what
they've got that configuration kind of section already
Yep.
teasing you there. So
Yeah, it's there. Like
I check it every time just in case.
I wonder if they do their app in house or they hire someone.
I
out.
don't know. I don't know.
There's a lot of different programs now that you can make apps with no code.
Yeah,
Those dudes are pretty smart at LaCroix, so I'm guessing they're.
they're doing
that all
it. They're
over
probably
now.
doing it. Yeah. I don't know for sure, but I'm guessing that they do it in house for sure because the app is nice, but it definitely needs some work. My biggest complaint on all of these apps, there is not a single app, as far as I know, that is both Android and iPhone. Anytime someone asks for an app recommendation, I can't. There's no when the Foxbox was when the Foxbox came out, only Android apps.
Mm-hmm.
When now Stormcore's only iPhone. Yours truly, which is the app I really like,
your foot
only
in the door.
iPhone.
You need to make a Vesk and you need to make an app.
Yeah, I would love
available for
that.
both.
That's the one thing we are missing is our own speed controller. And one day we'll get there, but it's a big undertaking.
Oh yeah.
And right now, especially these new boards coming out, I would rather leave it to a tried and true, ESC. But eventually, I would love to have our own thing that we can actually control and add these awesome features that we want to add and stuff. But it's beyond my knowledge base. So I would have to find someone who's very talented that and pay them a lot of money pretty much to do it with us. But
if any of you know how to do that and you're watching, email
right,
me.
yeah. But
comment McDonald's in the bottom.
So anyway, that's something that I think honestly is if we want to for MBoards to be officially, it's like an actual board company, right? We need our own ESC, we need our own remote.
Yeah.
Other than that, we'll have everything. I mean, we've already done our own decks. We've already done our own trucks. Everything else is all our own for this new board. But we're still using another company's remote, and we're still using another company's ESC. I mean, mostly because the community loves them. So there's no reason to not. But for us to, first of all, to offer better warranties and better everything, we would have to bring it all, vertically integrated. But
it's not like you're putting a Hemi and a Chevy,
Yeah, right. Yeah. So anyway, that's kind of the future, what we need to do eventually. But that's a big undertaking. It's very expensive.
Oh no, it's not something you can do tomorrow. I know that.
Yeah, I mean, just going through the samples of the ESCs, just getting one sample made, it's thousands of bucks. And every time you grab it, you put it in your board, and it pops because whatever's wrong with it, start over. R&D gets very expensive for that stuff. So
5 or 6 rounds. That's
it's a lot of money.
$50,000.
It's a lot of money. And just the design work itself, just hiring an engineer who knows their shit.
Oh, yeah.
Just to design that.
Imagine having a missing capacitor.
What do you mean? Just it blows everything up.
In your motor controller, what if you just missed one during production? Wouldn't that be nuts?
Well, it would just blow your stuff. I mean, the capacitors smooth out the energy coming in and out, or it can build up energy and release it.
It might blow the battery too, but the ESC is definitely screwed.
Yeah, it's not going to be good. So it's a lot to think about for sure. So again, that's something that's beyond my knowledge. I'm not an electrical engineer. I know how to use the stuff that we have, but I don't know how to design it from a blank slate, if you know what I mean. So anyway, so that's something that we'd love to do in the future, but at this stage of the game, one thing at a time.
Yeah. I mean, coming out with a new ESC is literally like hiring another employee, yearly salary, just right up front.
Right.
It's like making a whole new board.
Yeah, it's a whole
that's
product.
The budget
that's insane.
involved.
And then you still got to get it adopted into the VESC system. Yeah. Well, if we were ever going to come out with an ESC, it would be VESC based. So we'd have to still get it adopted into the VESC firmware, and that's a lot. That's a big undertaking for sure. Matt, what was the question? What were you talking about?
Will the new board have a programmable ESC?
Yes.
I think we answered that question.
I've got one more for you. We'll move on. Will there be other PEV vendors at the convention or just Esk8?
Well,
didn't you have a bike company coming?
So we have.
I think it's a loaded question.
Yeah.
So yes and no. We have focused for now our intentions on electric skateboards and the companies that service that in those industries. When we are looking at expanding out, we're being very specific about the people that we're reaching out to.
Mm-hmm.
So there's some local businesses that do EUCs here, and we'd love for them to show up versus calling each individual manufacturer, because every industry is sort of represented differently. One Wheel can have a shop all on their own and just have One Wheels in it.
Mm-hmm.
But most of the scooter companies, you might find 10 different brands in there with 15 different scooters. Well, you can't individually invite all of those scooter companies, but maybe they have a retail shop or a company that they're tied to. So we're trying to, really identify those. The bike companies are a little bigger. I don't know that we've really reached out to a whole lot. I think we have our sights set on, a couple of big ones. But
my thought is that Esk8 Con will remain Esk8.
I mean, it's in the name, obviously.
But we are all interested in PEVs in general, so it does not hurt to have Super 73 there or an EUC company there.
Screw it. Invite Elon Musk to show up.
Yeah.
Or electric vehicles in general. But I don't want it to turn into
just
electric bikes everywhere. Yeah. Why? I want there to be a couple maybe, just because those companies can definitely, I know we would love to see and ride these things. And I think it makes sense for them. And a lot of us own electric bikes and electric skateboards.
Yeah.
And whatever else that we own. So I think it makes sense for them to show up, but I don't want it to overrun the original idea. I think it's a place for the Esk8 community to come together, not the PEV community. You know what I'm saying? I'm also not trying to exclude anyone.
Well, there are big PEV
but there's already big PEV conventions already. So it's there's nothing, and that was the whole point, is to make it Esk8 related and specific. And I think we're going to continue that trend, but we would like to see a few of these other PEV companies show up just to give us some variety while we're there. Just to go, you know what? I haven't seen this. I haven't seen one of these in person. I haven't seen an EUC. Well, we've all seen an EUC, but I haven't seen this particular company before. Let me check it out. And maybe it's just a little bit of an extra, something to look at while you're at the convention type thing. But it's definitely not going to be because if we really did that, we opened it up to every PEV, the electric skateboard would
be
shrink
10%.
It would be so small. Yeah. And then it's why?
It's difficult enough already, with the traveling situation. So I think
I think niching down is definitely the way to go.
No, and I think everyone will have a better time. Because of that. I think when we really focus on one specific category of Esk8 and then sprinkle in a dash of a couple other categories.
That's cool, boo.
Just an, oh, wow, that's really cool. I've never seen that before type deal. I think that's where we get, where there's value added.
Yeah.
But when you add too much of that value, it devalues the Esk8 part of it. So hopefully that makes sense.
It sounds very valuable.
But if Tesla wants to roll up and show off their cars, go right ahead. They can bring their Cybertruck.
I got Elon Musk on speed dial.
They can bring their Cybertruck to our convention. How cool! Although 2023 convention, there might be a Cybertruck there. Yeah, because my Cybertruck will be there.
Bikes will be parked front and center.
That's right. But anyways, so that's kind of I think that's all we have for this week. Although quick thing, Jacob got to rip on the new board today.
I did ride the new board today.
Man, what do you think about it?
I was number 3 though to ride it now.
It's true. It's true. Whatever. 2 strangers.
Whatever.
Mark wrote it.
Number 4.
Oh, nice.
I wrote it. Mark wrote it. One
feet.
of our customers who came randomly, I let him write it.
I tried to put it in the back of my truck before Mike came around the corner. I was like, I'm just gonna take it home for a little bit. Is that cool? Yeah. No, that thing's a beast.
It's gonna be
super
awesome.
sick.
It needs some work, but
it just needs refinement. But don't bag on him for his grip
dude tape. I took 2 just crude squares of grip tape and just slapped them on the foot pads.
At least you use grip tape, not hot pads for your oven or something random. Just whatever I could find.
Yeah, no, I put grip tape on there. It's totally ugly, but I just wanted to get on the road safely, so I was like,
I think it looks fine. I'm just messing with you.
Yeah. But no, we'll put a really nice, a cool design on our grip tape for production. But for right now, it's fine.
It's a little windy to get a lot of riding in, but it's. I'm excited to really stretch its legs.
There's some minor details we got to get worked out. Our first deck sample came in, and it's 90% there.
Yep.
There's just some minor finishing details that, for example, in our lid, we have all the screw holes are countersunk, but after they countersunk everything, they put the clear gloss on it, and it clogged up a lot of those holes. So then they're not countersunk anymore. So I'm like, okay, we'll clear coat it first and then countersink it. So it's just a simple change the order in which you
just refinement.
Yeah. For the first one, and they rush it before their holiday. I was pretty happy with it. Now I think the second one, I think the next batch we're gonna get like 3 of them just to confirm that they can consistently, make a good looking product, because it's gonna be an expensive board. This deck's gonna be like $450 retail. Yeah, so it's got to be beautiful.
I mean, like, it really does. Take it how you want, but it tells me that your board's not coming from one of these like mass production where they're basically just building what they want for you. Like, this is you're telling them exactly what you want. Yeah, and they're making the rookie, mistakes, you could say, but like, that's a good thing. You're gonna get exactly what you want because they don't know any different. They don't have their own way to kind of, make it easier for them, which we all know kind of happens.
Oh yeah,
we do that in our own business. Like, well, yeah, I mean, we can do that, but tell them we do it this way, right? It's like, you're not gonna get any of that crap.
Right. No, they've been really good to work with so far. We just, there's just a handful of minor details that we got to work out, and it's going to be awesome though. I'm really excited for it. So, all right. Well, anyways, thank you guys for sitting down and thank you guys for watching.
And if you watched all the way to the end.
Question of the day.
This isn't really a question, but comment below a bad elevator pitch. Think of like the worst business idea you have and pitch it to someone. Think of like you're on Shark Tank, right? Just bad businesses only, though. No good ideas.
Okay, interesting.
It's a fun game that I play with my friends sometimes.
Okay. Do you have one off the top of your head, really quick?
The one that I thought of is probably not show appropriate.
No. Okay, all right.
But
that's okay.
Yeah,
that's all right. We'll just leave that at that. All right, guys. Thank you guys for watching. If you're not subscribed already, please do. If you're not following our Instagram, we just hired a new Instagram person just to break down our shows into smaller sections. So, follow us on Instagram if you want a quicker version of the show sometimes. And we will see you next week.
Yep.
Peace.
See you.